All right, welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be recapping UFC Vegas 105 that happened this past Saturday. It was a decent card. I don't really want to say it was that good of a card because it kind of wasn't that good. I did miss a lot of the fights. I wasn't able to watch a lot of them live, but I've been able to watch back most of them. And yeah, I didn't miss a ton. I don't think I missed too much, but we'll go through it. Was able to profit. So we'll talk about the bets. We'll talk about all that. And we'll try to get through this one pretty quick. And then look out for my UFC 314 breakdown tomorrow. We got UFC 314 this week that I'm very excited for. And I'll be breaking that one down live tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time, as always. By tomorrow, I mean Tuesday. Depends when you're watching this. So Tuesday, I'll be breaking it down live. Make sure to check that out. And all right, let's recap. So first fight of the night, Toledo Alencar versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I ended up passing on that one. I just felt like, probably a close fight on the feet. Demopoulos better. I think Alencar will get the takedowns. I think Alencar will get the control. I think she'll win, but I didn't really want to get involved at Pick'em. She came through. She won the fight. Seemed relatively dominant. Got the takedowns pretty easily. Got the control pretty easily and got the job done. So maybe I left some money on the table there, but I'm not too stressed about it. Those are the kind of spots, it's usually better to just play it safe and stay away. So it is what it is. Toledo Alencar gets another win in the UFC, and this is probably the first one she actually deserved because she didn't really deserve that Rayon dos Santos win. So that's good for her. We'll see what they do with her next. She's now 6-1-1. Record still relatively shiny. Could look decent after a few more wins. And I am curious how they'll match her up next. After that, we had Martin Budai versus Uran Sadibaldiev. Uran was making his UFC debut up a weight class at 265. He's normally a light heavyweight. And I bet on him. I bet on him a plus 140. I'm just very, very low on Martin Budai. Ultimately, Budai was able to do his thing and clinch. Uran wasn't necessarily strong enough to get out of it. Wasn't able to really get the takedowns when he went for them because Budai was just too big. I think he ended up being like 40 pounds heavier during the fight, probably 60 pounds heavier considering he does cut to 265. And Uran did hurt him in the third round, but he did the classic hurt him and then go for a takedown because why have good fight IQ when you could have bad fight IQ? And that didn't go well for me. So lost a unit there. It is what it is. I will fade Martin Budai until it's all over. After that, we had Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. Henry got it done. I did pick him to win. I picked him to win by decision. I stayed away because I felt like he's 37. The decline's going to hit eventually. And Falcao's a solid wrestler, but Henry was able to stuff a lot of the takedowns, was able to reverse, was able to scramble. It was a relatively close fight, but Henry got it done. And, he's probably got a few more fights left in him. And then I think we see Henry retire. And then Pedro Falcao probably gets one more fight before he gets his walking papers. And I think they should try to match him up a little bit easier. He's a solid fighter. Pedro's not bad. It's just they're kind of giving him hard matchups. After that, we had Loma Lukbunmi versus Estela Nunes. I ended up playing Estela Nunes at plus 625, and it was a damn close fight. Did Loma look minus 1,000? No, she did not. I heard all week about how she's going to submit Estela Nunes. Did she? She did not. And Estela Nunes looked a lot better. She's at American Top Team now. She looked ripped going into the fight, and she fought decent. She could have done a little bit better. Got stuck in the third round on her back, but it is what it is. Took a small shot. It was only a quarter unit. And I think it was a good bet. Loma did not look minus 1,000. After that, we had Riz McKee versus Daniel Frunza, another spot that I passed. I ended up picking Frunza to win. I thought it was dog or pass, but I didn't have the guts to go with Riz, so I didn't play anything. And McKee pulled it off, dropped him 3-4 times. Still didn't get a 10-8 in one of those rounds, which is crazy. But he got the job done. Really nasty injury to Frunza. I think it was the lip got busted really bad. But that was nuts, but really good performance by Riz. I'm glad he finally got in the win column and probably saved his job. And I do think he belongs in the UFC, so I'm glad he saved his job. And then Frunza, he'll be back. Frunza's a good fighter, too, and he's a tough dude. After that, we had Dione Barbosa versus Diana Belbita. Barbosa probably retired Belbita. She did what everybody thought she would. She submitted her in the first round. I stayed away because I just don't like it when everybody's on the same thing. I know sometimes the clearest option is the right option, but I couldn't do it. I wanted to stay away. I didn't feel like the price was worth it. It did seem like the obvious option, but how many times does everyone bet on the obvious option and then everybody loses their pants? So I didn't want to lose my pants. I don't have many pants to begin with, so I just stayed away. But Barbosa did get it done, but she did make everybody sweat a little bit. If you had round one sub, you were sweating a little bit because she waited till that last second to get it done. After that, we had Torres Finney versus Robert Valentin. Finney did Finney things. took him down, grinded him out. Another fight that I stayed away from, and another fight that I am glad I stayed away from because it was just a mess. Finney getting all that crap now for being boring. I don't think he's boring. Like, it's just, what is he supposed to do? That's the build he has. Those are that's what he has to deal with. Every fighter has their build. You can't change your body. I mean, you can change it by getting more or less jacked, but that's about it. You can't change your height, your reach. You can't change those things. This is what he's got, and he's working with it. I think he'll develop a little bit more of a game as time goes on. I hope that the UFC doesn't cut him because I really like Torres Finney. I like him as a guy. I've interviewed him. He's just radiating positivity all the time. He's a really nice dude, and he works really hard, and those are the fighters I like the most. There's a reason some of my favorite fighters are Merab, Bilal, and it's not because they're the most entertaining. It's because they're the guys who came into the UFC, who came into MMA with not a lot of physical gifts and really worked for it. Finney has some physical gifts, but he had to work for all of this because he's not a mixed martial artist by nature. He had to really develop all his skills, and he's getting there. And I hope they don't cut him. Robert Valentin did what he could, just didn't have the takedown defense. And then the one judge who gave a 30-27 to Valentin, there's no way he actually thought Valentin won the fight. I think it was just like a way to be like, I don't like this, so I'm going to just give the fight to the other guy. I mean, if you're going to be a damage purist and like really hold on to the damage over control thing, I guess you can make the argument, but it's like he barely landed anything because he was getting taken down. So I feel like Valentin did not win the fight. I feel like Finney won the fight. So right guy got the decision. It was just a mess. After that, we had Luis Garule versus Ode Osborne. So I dodged the bullet not playing Garule money line, but then I got hit because I played the over 2.5 instead, and Ode knocked him out. I felt like that might happen because Garule did get hurt against Jacob Silva. That stood out to me. It stood out to me that Garule didn't have the cleanest entries when he's coming in the striking. And it stood out to me that Ode is extremely fast and powerful and probably the better striker. Wish I had the guts to play Ode, but coulda, woulda, shoulda, but I did not. But good performance from Ode, and Garule will be fine. He's 10-1. He's got time. And I think he'll get plenty of wins. I love the flyweight division. I think it's my favorite division right now. After that, we had Brad Tavares versus GM3. Another bullet dodged. I did a lot of bullet dodging this past weekend because I almost played GM3 because everyone was playing GM3 and everyone was telling me what a good bet he was, and they were making sense. So I was like, damn, am I missing out here? Like, should I be playing the plus 150 even though I kind of missed the best of the line? Thank God I didn't, because I thought what happened was going to happen. Tavares was going to cleanly outstrike him and keep it on the feet, but the noise was getting to me a little bit. But I stayed away. I had, of course, I sprinkled GM3 round 3 sub because you have to, but that was just a 0.1 unit. That lost. That's fine. I had the over 2.5 parlayed. That parlay did cash, so that was good. And otherwise, I'm glad I stayed away from that one. Then we had Chang Ho Lee versus Cortavius Romeus. I did have Chang Ho Lee at minus 130 to win 1 unit, and he cooked. He dominated Romeus. He got reversed a few times, but he was very, very dominant for the most part. Got that second round finish. Have a little bit of FOMO. Everybody hit those round 2, round 3 props on him, but I'm trying to be cleaner this year. I'm trying to really lower my stakes and just pick up that ROI. I want a double-digit ROI this year. I haven't had one yet. Had 9% last year. I want to hit the double digits, so I'm trying to be a little bit cleaner. So I stayed away from that. Wish I didn't, but again, coulda, woulda, shoulda, did not. But at least I hit the money line, and the money line was a good bet. Talking about good bets, probably one of the best bets I've ever made. Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. I had Pat Sabatini there. I had him for 2 units at plus 190, and he dominated. It was never quite close, but I'm not going to lie. Every time these two are on the feet and Sabatini starts spinning, of all things to do, in a fight against a guy who can dead you in one punch, you spin. I was just watching it. I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, I didn't want him to be on the feet to begin with. But, like, okay, every fight starts on the feet. You got to strike a little bit. But do you have to spin? Especially when you don't have a striking game like that. Like, you're not Shara Magomedov. If Shara does it, fine. If you do it, it's not your game, man. So I was really worried he would get knocked out, but he did not, and he got the dub. He dominated on the ground like I thought he would. So that felt good. Good for Pat Sabatini. Brito, 2 losses in a row now. He's going to have to come back, but I think he'll be fine. Brito's still an elite fighter, and so is Pat. It was just a tough matchup for Brito. And then last fight was Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett, another fight I stayed away from. I thought I would parlay Murphy. I thought I would play his decision, and then I just decided to stay away because Emmett, even though he's 40, he's still a boss. He's still a beast. He still got it. Still fought really hard. Looked really good in that first round. Had his moments in multiple rounds. Kept it close, competitive. But Murphy clearly won that fight, in my opinion. I know some people gave it to Emmett. I thought Murphy won. Thought it was a good performance. I know now people are calling him boring, saying he's underwhelming, but he did what he had to do. Like, what do you want him to do? Go and do the Max Holloway against Josh Emmett of all people? I don't even think Max Holloway would do the Max Holloway against Josh Emmett. It's just a terrible business decision. So, of course, Murphy was careful, and I thought it was a really good performance. Will it get him a title shot? No, but it'll get him closer there. I mean, losing by getting knocked out by Emmett would definitely set him back. So better this than that. So I thought it was a good performance, all things considered, and I still think Murphy is live to win the title in 2026 because the division is wide open. It's wide open. The best guy is probably Evloev right now, and he's not even fighting for the title. And the UFC is doing everything they can to get him off the title track because they set him up against Pico, which is going to be another video we're going to have to talk about because I'm super hyped for that fight. But yeah, long story short, I think Murphy got it done well, and it was a good performance. And that's it, guys. That was UFC Vegas 105. I ended up profiting 3.39 units. So a little bounce back from last week. Feels good to pull that off. And hopefully we can keep it going for UFC 314. And then we've got a break, and I really need a break. So I'm glad about that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time.